Okay, so in today's class, we'll start revising from part 1. So in part 1, I told you from pair of linear equations chapter. So we'll start the revision from pair of linear equations chapter. After completing pair of linear equations chapter statement problems, then we'll move on to the arithmetic progression. Or in between, do you have any other chapter doubts? You can ask me. Shall I start with pair of linear equations today?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So pair of linear, you have studied about that. What are the basic points that you have learnt in this chapter? So pair of linear equations. So what are the pair of linear equations we have? So equations having two variables. So any linear equation. So linear equations in relation equation, linear equation. And here linear equations within two variables. So two variables. What are the two variables we have here in this? v1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x plus v2y plus c2 equal to. So these are the two pair of linear equations we are taking, and in this pair of linear equations we have two variables. So what are the two variables we have in that? So variables are x and y. X and y are the two values of algebraic method. So algebraic method, so in methods, cross multiplication method. So first one is substitution method, second one is elimination method, and the third one is cross multiplication method. So whatever the problems you are getting from substitution method and elimination method will be 2 marks questions, and based on equations reducible to the linear equations or from cross multiplication method, you may get 3 marks questions. Okay, so that you should keep it in mind while practicing this chapter. Now, in this, whenever we are doing first thing in graphical method, what you should remember, so if any of the lines intersect at a point, so that is how they will intersect. Suppose if you observe, you are going to plot a graph. So here you are going to plot graph. So this is the vertical axis, and again you are having the x-axis. So here you are having 1, 2. So this you call it as x-axis, and this vertical line we call it as y-axis. So when you are plotting the graph, if any of the two lines intersect at a point, you are plotting one line like this and another line like this. So these two lines are intersecting at a point. So if any of the two lines intersect at a point, then what do you call that? What type of solution those two lines will have?
Unique solution.
Yes, very good. So that if any two lines intersect at a point, then the two lines will have unique solution. So unique solution means the point of intersection. So the point of intersection of the two lines, you call it as, it is the solution of that two equations. So where the two lines will intersect, so other than our solutions of the given equations and the everything. Okay. So this is for the first one. That is when two lines of a graph intersect, so that two lines will have unique solution. Then coming back to the next one, what we have. So that is, if any of the two lines, if they are parallel to each other, if any of the two lines are parallel to each other, then what type of solutions they will have?
No solutions.
No solution. Solution, miss.
No solution. They will not have any solution because those two lines, there is no common point of intersection for those two lines. So you will not get any solution. So such type of lines will have no solution. Okay. So this is the second one you should remember. If any two lines are parallel to each other, then the two lines will have no solution. So no solution means you will not get any value for x and y. Okay, so that is for the second one. And the third one, what we have, suppose if two lines, if they overlap each other, suppose one line you are having like this and another line you will draw on that same line. So you will be getting like this. So what type of, here down I have drawn green line.
Coincide line.
Coincident line, miss.
Coincide line.
Yes, so we call it as line. So for coinciding lines, what type of solution you will get?
Infinitely many solutions.
Infinitely many solutions. Yes, very good. So infinitely many solutions you will get when any two lines intersect each other. So these are the 3 points you should remember whenever you are plotting a graph, and this graph question is very important, and you should practice that the 20 questions I gave you, graph questions, that you should practice. Okay, so this is all about the graphical method. So once again, in the next upcoming classes, we'll discuss how to plot the graph and all. So then I'll tell you again all about the graph. Okay, the next one we have, that is algebraic methods. So in this algebraic method, what we have, so that is the 3 methods. So that is substitution method, elimination method, and cross multiplication method. So in substitution method, what you are doing, you will be having two equations. The equation in that one variable you will take, and that variable value you will substitute in the other one. Then you call that as substitution method. Suppose say x plus y is equals to 5 you have. X plus y is equals to 5, and suppose you have x minus 1, x minus y is equals to 1 you have. Now you are having two equations, x plus y is equals to 5 and x minus 1 equal to 1. X minus y is equals to 1. So ಎರಡು equations ಇದ್ದಾಗ substitution method ನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ, ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು equation ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು variable value ತಗೊಂಡು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು equation ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ then you will get the value of the other variable. So now for this we can take either the first equation or the second equation. You can start with any of the equations. Then here I'll take with the second equation, and from the second equation what we can write, x minus 1 is equals to y. X minus 1 is equals to y. Now I am going to put this equation in the second equation. So where I should write x minus 1 now? What I should write the next step here? X plus, in place of y, place of y what you can write, x minus 1 is equals to 5. Now what you get, x plus x, it is 2x minus 1. If you shift it the other side, you get 2x is equals to 6, and from this what you get, x is equals to 6 by 2. So 2 ones are 2 threes are. Now what you got, x value, now you got x value as 3. Then what will be the value of y?
2, miss.
So y value will be 2. 3 minus 1, it is 2. Okay, so like this you will be getting the simple problems in substitution method. So substitution method nalli ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, first ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆ ಬಂದಿದ್ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಸಿಂಪ್ಲಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ both the variable values will be getting. Okay, so this is how you will solve the problems based on substitution method. Then the next one we have elimination method. Elimination method. So to do this elimination method, again we'll take the same equations. So x plus y is equals to 5 and x minus y is equals to 1. So to get the x and y value, so what we have got in this equation, x value as 3 and y value as 2 we got. Now x minus y is equals to 1. I told you whenever you get whether the variables with positive or negative sign, you should simplify with that first. Now here, yavan eliminate ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ first.
Y miss.
See here, if you eliminate y, you can easily simplify that within one step. If you eliminate x, again you need to change the sign, again you need to add or subtract, so that becomes clumsy for you. So better you eliminate y. So to eliminate y, what you are doing, you should add these two equations. So when you are adding x plus x, you get it as 2x, and plus y minus y, what you get plus y minus, they will
Cancel.
2x is equals to 6. So from this, what you get, x is equals to 6 by 2. So that is again 2 ones are 2 threes are. So you got the same value, x is equals to 3. Next, same thing. If you substitute in place of x as 3, so 3 minus y is equals to 1, or y is equals to 3 minus 1. So y value you get it as 2. So this is how you solve the equations by elimination method. Okay, understood this method, all of you? So this is just the revision of this concept, substitution method and elimination method, by taking the simple examples. Then cross multiplication method. So for cross multiplication method, so again, so to do cross multiplication method, you should first know what are the coefficients. What are the coefficients of the two equations here? What is A1? What is A1?
Miss A1 equal to 1 miss. B1 equal to 1 miss. B equal to.
Yes. So in these two equations, we'll again do with the same equations. So same equations when you are doing here, A1 equal to 1, B1 equal to 1, C1 is equals to 5. And in this, A2 is equals to 1, B2 is equals to, what you should write for B2 value?
Minus 1.
B2 is equals to 1. Now in substitution, sorry, in cross multiplication method, what we have seen, so x, below that x, you are going to write B1, B2. So B1 is 1, B2 is minus 1, C1, C2, so C1 is 5, C2 is 1, and below this y, you will write A1, A2, so A1 is 1, A2 is also 1. And here, the third one you should write, if you observe RHS, the variable C1, so the constant term C1 is on RHS. So when you take C1 on RHS, what you should do, you should write here with minus sign. So when you are writing with minus sign, so there you get 1, and here also, sorry, it is equal to 5. So C1 is, so this is B1, B2, this is C1, C2, this is A1, A2, again you get here B1, B2. So B1 is 1, B2 is minus 1. Now you should simplify this. So how you will simplify this?
Cross multiplication.
You should cross multiply these two. And again, to get y value, you should cross multiply these two. And to get this x and y, you should just divide that. So what you get, 1 minus of minus 5. So this becomes plus 5. So that is equals to y divided by 5 This cross multiply if you do, you'll get -1, and that is equals to -1 by this. If you cross multiply -1, so this will be again -1. So what you get, I'm going to write here on the top. Okay. So here x by 6 you will get, so that is equals to y by 4, and that is equals to -1 by -2 you will get. So minus sign gets cancelled. If you simplify and see x by 6 is equals to 1 by 2 you have. If you cross multiply this, what you get, x is equals to 6 by 2, again 2 ones are 2 3s are. So x value you are getting 3, and y value, y is equals to 4 by 2. So if you cancel this, 2 ones are 2 twos are, so y value you are getting 2. So again, see that we have solved the same pair of linear equations in 3 methods, that is substitution method, elimination method, and also by cross multiplication method. And in all 3 methods we have got the same x and y value. So that is x value you are getting 3 and y value you are getting 2. So whatever the method you follow, either substitution method or elimination method or cross multiplication method, you will get the same answer. Only thing you should remember, whichever method you feel easy, you should follow that. When they have not mentioned any method, so ಯಾವುದೇ method ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ, just find x and y value ಅಥವಾ solve the equations ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ choose the method which is simple. Like either you can go with the substitution method or elimination method. 2 marks question ಗೆ substitution method elimination method ನಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಬೇಗ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So cross multiplication method, again it may take lengthy steps, and also you may do mistakes in doing cross multiplication. Okay, 2 marks question ನಲ್ಲಿ method ಯಾವುದು ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ you can either use substitution method or elimination method to find out x and y value. If they mention solve by using substitution method, solve by using elimination method, then you should follow the same method, whatever the method is given. Is it clear?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So I think nobody is having any doubts in this. Shall I move on to the next one?
Yes, miss.
Okay. So next one we have the most important thing. So that is, you may get it either in 1 mark multiple choice questions, or you may get it for 2 marks question. So 2 marks question ಅಥವಾ 1 mark question ನಲ್ಲಿನೂ ಬರ್ಬೋದು. So that is the ratios, comparing the ratios. So how you will compare the ratios? Eraser working properly. So daily you should practice maths at least 10 problems. ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ನೀವು ಡೈಲಿ 10 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ಚಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ನನ್ನ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಅಶ್ವಿನಿ ಮಿಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಬಟ್ 10 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್, ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 10 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 1 hour ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಡೂ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಡೈಲಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲಾಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ನಿಮಗೆ 1 hour ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೂ ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ 10 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಡೈಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಇವತ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾತ್ರಿ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟಾದ್ರೂ ಅಥವಾ ಊಟ ಬಿಟ್ಟಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ 10 ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಡೈಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಹಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅಂಡ್ ಇಟ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ. ಸೊ ರಿವಿಷನ್ ಕೂಡ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ಗೆ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪ್ಯಾಟರ್ನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. 80 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಹಂಗಾಗಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಅದು ಇದು ಅಂತ ಏನು ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಲಾರ್ದೆ, ಸೊ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್, ಕಾನ್ಸಂಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟಿಸ್. ಓಕೆ, So coming back to this, comparing the ratios. How we are comparing the ratios? That is, when you are having any two variables, a1x, b1y plus c1 equal to 0 and a2x, b2y plus c2 equal to 0, you should first write down the coefficients. So in this equations, a1x plus b1y plus c1 equal to 0, which are the coefficients? ಯಾವುದನ್ನ coefficients ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಯಾವುದನ್ನ variables ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಈ ಫಸ್ಟ್ equation ನಲ್ಲಿ. First you should know that. ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ನಿಮಗೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವುದು ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ, ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ವೇರಿಯಬಲ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. a1x plus b1y 0.
a1 plus b1 ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಮಿಸ್. x and y are variables miss. c1 is equal to constant miss.
Yes, very good. So here a1, b1 are coefficients of x and y, and c1 is the constant. And again, same way in second equation also we have a2 and b2 as coefficients and c2 is the constant. Now first thing ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ನೀವು ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಕನ್ಫ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಈಕ್ವೇಶನ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ದ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಡೌನ್ a1 ಏನು, a2 ಏನು, b1 ಏನು, b2 ಏನು, c1 ಏನು, c2 ಏನು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು. So when you write like this, just by observing that figure itself, the equations ratios itself, you can come to know. So what is the equation we have got? So last ಮಾಡಿದ equations ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ x plus y is equals to 5 and x minus y is equals to 1. So this is the equation we have solved by using substitution method, elimination method and cross multiplication method. Now you should find out whether this equation is having whether this equation is having consistent or inconsistent solutions. So ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು equation ಗೆ solutions ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ consistent ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ solutions ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ inconsistent ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Suppose when you will get consistent equations and when you will get inconsistent equations. Consistent ಅಂತ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಯುನೀಕ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ you are getting there. Unique solution, if you get any two equations as unique solution, then what type of equations they are?
Consistent pair of linear equations.
Consistent pair of intersecting ಹೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಯುನೀಕ್ ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀರಾ, ಇನ್ಕನ್ಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂತೀರಾ?
Consistent miss.
Consistent.
Here you get any values of the variables. Unique solution ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? When you get the value of x and y, then you get unique solution. Then you can call that as consistent equation. And one more thing, one more condition, when you get the consistent equations, unique solution ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವಾಗ consistent equations ಅಂತ ಬರೀತೀರಿ?
Infinity many solutions.
Infinitely many solutions.
Many solutions, very good. So infinitely many solutions ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಕೂಡ consistent equations ಬರುತ್ತೆ. So infinitely many solutions ಇದ್ದಾಗ consistent equation ಯಾಕೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, so the given equations will have some variables and that type of variables, the values of that variables will be dependent. Okay, so such type of the equations we call them as consistent equation. So consistent ಯಾವಾಗ ಇರುತ್ತೆ? When you get unique solution and when you get infinitely many solutions, you will be getting consistent equations. And inconsistent ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೆ?
Parallel lines.
Parallel lines. So when you are drawing parallel lines in the graph, then the equations you will not get any values for that. So that we call it as the equations are inconsistent. If any two lines are parallel, then the equations that are used to denote the the two lines are inconsistent. Okay, and the ratios, how you will find? Now if you take for example, I have written here two equations, x plus y is equals to 5 and x minus y is equals to 1. Now you should write the coefficient for this a1 by a2. So what you get the ratio A1 by A2 ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? What is the coefficient A1 in this equations? ಈ ಎರಡು equation ನಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು.
1 miss. 1 miss.
So 1. And what about B2?
1 by minus
1 by minus 1. So minus 1 we should not write in the denominator. So I'll write it as minus 1 by 1. And what about C1 by C2?
Minus
5
5
by
by minus 1.
5 by
So
1.
it is by 1. So no need to write minus 5 by minus 1 because minus minus gets cancelled and you will get back again 5 by 1 itself. So here 5 by 1. Now if you compare the ratios A1 by A2 and B1 by B2, what type of ratios they are? C1 by C2.
Parallel.
Parallel lines, miss.
Are they parallel?
Yes, miss.
Intersecting lines, miss.
Intersecting lines, unique solution.
Unique solution, miss. A1 by A2 is not equals to B1 by B2.
Yes, A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2. Don't get confused there. A1 by A2 you are getting plus 1 and B1 by B2 you are getting minus 1. So ಇದು simple equations na kottare no solution anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ. Already you have got the solution for this equations. X value 3 ಬಂದಿದೆ, Y value 2 ಬಂದಿದೆ. You have got the solution, unique solution you got. Then this equations are having unique solution. ಈ ಎರಡು equation ಗೆ unique solution ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. So unique solution means here A1 by A2 will not be equal to B1 by B2. So if they are not equal, they are having unique solution. And what type of equations they are? These two are unique solution. They are having intersecting lines. Consistent. Yes, very good. So these two equations are consistent. So what condition you can know? Here, if A1 by A2 is not equal to B1 by B2, in this case, the pair of linear equations are consistent. Understood this, all of you?
Yes, miss. Yes, miss.
Okay. So now I'm going to change this equations. So first equation, I'll keep it as it is. Then I'm going to change the second equation. So here I'm going to make 3x. This I'll make it as 3y. And this I'm going to make it as 15. 3x, 3y and 15. So now you should write the ratios A1 by A2, B1 by B2 and C1 by C2. Yes, tell me.
Coincident lines, miss.
What you get A1 by A2?
1 by 3.
1 by 3, miss.
3. What about B1 by B2?
1 by 3.
1 by 3, miss.
3. What about B1 by C2?
1 by 5.
5 by 15.
1 by 3, miss.
You get 5 by 15 again. If you simplify that, you will get it as 1 by 3. Here A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2 and that is equals to C1 by C2. So what type of lines they are?
Coincident lines, miss.
And consistent, miss.
And what type of solutions they have? Infinitely many solutions they have, and they are consistent. So these equations are consistent. So this is about the second ratio that we have, that is coinciding lines. They have infinitely many solutions and these two equations are consistent. Understood now? So when you are checking that symbols, you should be able to observe that clearly. Okay? Then next one we'll see with the next ratios. I'm going to change the values of these equations and you should tell me whether the given equations are consistent or inconsistent. So here we have 2x minus 3y is equals to 8, and here we have 7x minus 21y is equals to 16. Okay, are you able to see the numbers that I have written here?
Parallel lines, miss.
Unique solution, miss, it is.
No solutions, miss. Unique solution, miss.
Unique solution, miss, it is.
Unique solution.
Wait. So this I'm going to change it 6. Now you tell me what type of solutions they are.
Parallel, miss.
Parallel
So here
lines, miss.
Parallel lines, miss.
take a1 by 2, it is 2 by 7, and what you get b1 by b2, it is minus 6 by minus 21. Minus 6 by minus 21, if you simplify this, what you get? Simplifying this, minus sign gets cancelled. 3 2s are 6, 3 7s are 21. And again, C1 by C2, you have 8 by 16, so that you get it as 8 1s are 8 2s are 1 by 2. Now, if you compare A1 by A2 and B1 by B2, C1 by C2, what is the ratios you are getting? In this case, A1 by A2 is equal to B1 by B2, but not equal to C1 by C2. So therefore, the given pair of linear equations are having what type of solutions?
Inconsistent. No solutions.
Solution, miss. No
They are
solution, miss.
what type of solutions is it there?
No solutions.
Equations, and you get no solution. So if you are getting no solution, what is the nature of graph for this?
Parallel.
Parallel, miss. Parallel lines.
Parallel. Yes, very good. So they are forming parallel lines. Okay, understood? So this is some of the basic things you should remember from pair of linear equations chapter. Okay, then the word problems related to this. So cross multiplication method ವರ್ಗು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಎಲಿಮಿನೇಷನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ವರ್ಗು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ
Reducing method.
reducing method. Okay, so then reducing method in the cross multiplication method ಆಗಿದೆನಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್
Yes,
ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್
miss.
ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ಆಗಿದೆನಾ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ 5 problems are there, all 5 completed.
Yes, miss.
Okay, so then in tomorrow's class we'll do with pair of linear equations exercise 3.6. So last main 3.6 nalli reducing method in the statement problems nana class nalli madana continue madana. Okay, so do you have any doubts regarding today's class?
No, miss.
Okay, so if you are not having any doubts regarding today's class, then you can leave the class. Okay.